So letting the exhale gently coax your body to settle. And bringing awareness to the solid surface that you are settling into. So letting the awareness come away from the mind and drop right down to the places where the body is touching the ground. And then the exhale allows you to relax a little bit more. And slowly but surely, tissues all over the body begin to settle down, drop, let go of any unnecessary tension. And certain tissues may want to hold on to that tension, and that's okay. We're not trying to force anything. We're just noticing from our own experience when we connect to the exhale and we exhale into the earth, that there's a general overall sense of the system decompressing. And the inhale gives us the opportunity to expand into the space, into the atmosphere around us. And that too can feel quite pleasant for our being to recognize that it's got all this space that it can move into, up and front and back, side to side, all directions. So inhaling, I expand into the space around me, into the atmosphere all around me. Exhaling, I descend and rest into a deep holding into the earth. And it's very helpful to stay with the rhythm of the breath for a while at the beginning of our meditations, to train ourselves away from a constant preoccupation with the mind. And also to experience that as we witness the breath, that it has a rhythm, that it has intelligence, and that we don't have to manipulate it in any way for it to find its balance within our system as it is currently. We may find a sigh come in or a yawn or a settling, a slowing of the breath. And it finds its way. So it's this gentle discipline of returning to the breath over and over again, reminding ourselves when we get distracted to just come back without any added criticism of ourselves. It's called a meditation practice because that's what it is. We're practicing. So I wanted to remind us today that meditation is not about changing our state. It's more in line with allowing things to be as they are, and that includes all states, whether they're pleasant or unpleasant. And we get to see when we sit in stillness and silence like this, how much of our energy is invested in changing states, in manipulating, in understanding, in comparing. And while there's nothing wrong with that per se, that's not what meditation is. We are giving ourselves an experience of resting back and allowing the details of our life to come and go in order to experience that which is beyond the details of our life. So yes, we have a mind, we have thoughts, we have emotions and feelings and circumstances. But the great masters tell us that's not who we are. We experience these things, but it's not who we are. And meditation is here as an age-old practice to help to remind us of who and what we really are. And so during meditation, we let go of manipulating our state. We're not trying to get more peaceful. We're not trying to change the mind. It will change and we will become more peaceful, but not because we're trying. When we try, actually, we're taking ourselves further away from the natural peace that we are and from the natural state of flow that we are. We are part of the river of life. So for today's meditation, the encouragement is to notice that different states may come and go. Maybe you came here, you arrived in a particular state, or maybe you had certain states moving through this morning. But moment to moment, states are constantly arising. And they stay for however long they stay, and then they pass away and something else comes. And that will continue. But what happens when we become more established in our true nature through meditation is that our perspective on these states and our need to micromanage them disappears. And we get to experience the relaxation, the perspective, the understanding, the compassion of the natural state. And so much energy comes back to us that isn't being spent managing. And not only do we try to change an unpleasant state by doing certain external things, and again, there's nothing wrong with that, but what would it be to just experience what states do without our interference? And also, we tend to try to grasp onto, to hold on to pleasant states as well. So when we're feeling particularly joyful or spacious, harmonious, and it seems to be kind of slipping away, we want to grab onto it. And again, we're using our life force to change something that was never meant to stay exactly the same. Nothing stays exactly the same. The Buddhists call this impermanence. But the more that we can let go of that which is naturally going, and the more that we can receive that which is naturally coming, the more fluidity, the more flow, the more in harmony with the river of life that we are, which puts us in touch with a state of peace and openness, regardless of what is moving through. In other words, meditation, which is our true nature, is not a state because it doesn't come and go. And that's where we are being invited to rest in and to rest as. And when there's even just a little bit of leaning back from that tendency to manage, we can feel just ourselves settling into, opening to more spaciousness, presence, you could say. Let what comes come. Let what goes go. What remains. Let what comes come. Let what goes go. What remains. Noticing the body is opening to just a kind of global awareness of the physical body. Just noticing the sensations that arise when you put your attention there. Or perhaps more accurately, the sensations that you become aware of when you put your attention on the body. And as you include both areas of relaxation as well as areas of tension, and you hold them all with equal generosity, and this can help the areas of tension to let go. So trying to release tension generally creates more tension. But when we put this very kind light of awareness on areas of discomfort like tension, we experience for ourselves that it has a loosening effect, maybe not right away, but in time. Especially when we shine that light of awareness with the willingness to suspend any kind of judgment, knowing that the body is, of course, always doing its very best. And oftentimes these areas of tension relate directly to the way that we contract around certain states as we try to either resist them or grasp onto them, hold on to them. So the tension in your body will be a direct key to where it is that we resist the flow of life. And to experience for ourselves that this resistance is just creating more discomfort. And so when we open to resistance and tension without evaluation, that gives them more space to find their way to freedom. The body gives us clues as to where we are grasping and where we are pushing away. And when we meet the body in whatever it's doing, with simple openness, willingness to acknowledge, this is a solvent for resistance and tension. Maybe not right away, but in time as we practice. It's very normal as the body begins to relax a little bit more. That on the one hand, this feels very good, very liberating. And also sometimes as we relax, certain emotional states might be freed up, maybe emotional states that we have suppressed. or numbed. And this is where we want to continue practicing, allowing states, including emotional states, to come and go as they please. And the more that we do this, the more the emotional content of our experience tends to take kind of a background kind of position. Like sort of like the weather outside our window. It's the manipulation of our emotional states that makes them stronger, more dominant in our experience. And noticing that as we let go of managing states, our accessibility to presence is just right there. It's been there all along. We just haven't noticed it because we've been busy with other things. And resting as presence is very, very nourishing for our system. You may feel that. There's like a richness that starts coming through our body, our energy field, our nervous system that feels very nourishing, very nurturing, safe. And we can let ourselves steep in that